Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Ujjwal Whatifs and I am back with a new video. It's a part 10 of what if Ash started his Pokemon journey with Mew. I the Ujjwal Whatifs am the writer and editor of this series. And before we start, let's give the answer to my last question of what type of Pokeball Ash used to catch his first Pokemon in this series. And the answer is the Cherish Ball. Ash used this ball to catch his first catch showed in this series. It was a tricky question. I was sure some of you will get confused. But what can I say, I have smarter viewers. Ha 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 ha. Now those who gave the correct answer are at Andy Roberts-N6N3E, at Ignacio Castillo-T4X, at Paruhangrai-E2G, at Bebek Kumar Nag X8F, and at Charaban. A loud shout out to all of them. Now let's begin. A hidden chamber slide opened behind Giovanni and armored Mewtwo drifted forward. Its restraints hissed shut, metal locking into place as psychic pressure fractured the floor beneath it. He flew and landed opposite to Ash, shuddering the ground beneath it. Ash, upon sensing the Pokemon's power, smirked, knowing it's going to be a tough battle. Shiny Mew wanted to battle this Pokemon, sensing some kind of bond with him. But Ash stopped her, saying that he is feeling something off about this Pokemon and that guy Giovanni, so he might need her later and it might be better if he doesn't show all of his cards right off the bat. So instead of choosing her or one of his other legendary Pokemons or Pokemons with the type advantage like Gengar, Ash released his one of the oldest and most reliable partner, who was forged through rejection and disappointments, became from weak abandoned fire lizard to one of his strongest. The Cherish Ball burst open and from it our shiny Charizard emerged with definitely shredding the psychic haze caused by Mewtwo's presence. A Charizardite X necklace handmade by Ash dangling from his neck, and with a simple gesture from Ash, a light flared as the Mega Evolution ignited, violet energy collapsing into the jagged form of Mega Charizard X, while blue flames were leaking from its jaws like a warning to his opponents. Giovanni was surprised upon seeing the Mega Evolution, but again his smugness returned with the full confidence in the armored Pokemon and with a cold detached voice commanded him to attack. Mewtwo, upon receiving the command, struck with a Psystrike, but Charizard carved through it with Dragon Claw. Then he launched a point-blank Dragon Rush at him. The impact of the attack shook the arena, yet Mewtwo stopped it cold even from that low distance. Then he unleashed a psychic force that hurled Charizard across the floor, but Charizard with a roar broke free from the psychic hold. Then he flew towards Mewtwo and both collided with each other, which created a shuddering shockwave. Then they went back and forth and one after another launched numerous powerful attacks at each other. And right after dodging a Psybeam from Mewtwo, Charizard X vanished and soon appeared behind Mewtwo and launched a quick superheated fire spin out of nowhere. It caught Giovanni off guard, which made him unable to command Mewtwo to dodge in time. The intense heat scorched the plating, causing a permanent structural damage to the armor, and just at that moment Ash heard a cry of help in his mind via telepathy from the armored Pokemon. Ash then tried to create a psychic link between them to communicate further but couldn't find a proper breakthrough. The armor was blocking his psychic powers. He tried the same thing on Giovanni but got the same result. He didn't notice before, but Giovanni was being protected from telepathy attack, highly likely from some high-tech device. But since the Pokemon had asked for help, Ash knew something was off, so after some thoughts he decided to free the Pokemon from the armor. So he shouted to his Charizard to attack with a Fire Blast, while via telepathy told him to specifically aim for the armor. Charizard nodded and went for the attack, but it was stopped midway by Mewtwo. Ash told Charizard to go all out, which he did, and soon after the attack became unbearable to hold for Mewtwo. Giovanni saw this and started to panic, realizing if Mewtwo took this attack then it might heavily damage the armor, which ultimately could result in freeing Mewtwo from his control. Fear for that to happen, Giovanni lost his calm and shouted for Mewtwo to move. The armor Pokemon was in deadlocked, and if he moved even a little bit the attack will consume him. But since right now he was fully controlled by Giovanni, He abided his command and moved, which gave Charizard's attack to break through and fully consume Mewtwo, then threw him towards the sidewall and with a blast collides with it, and with that collision Mewtwo's armor broke, freeing him from Giovanni's control, but it also got Mewtwo heavily injured and he dropped to the ground with a heavy thud from the ceiling. Seeing that, Giovanni screamed with disbelief, which instantly turned into anger. He then called for all the available Rocket members in the building and circled our heroes and Mewtwo, who was seriously injured after the battle. Then they walked towards injured Mewtwo, but Ash got on their way shielding Mewtwo. His friends follow suit and did the same from other sides. Mewtwo was surprised seeing the other humans protecting him, but then Giovanni walked to them and threw the Earth badge at him. "Take it and leave, you are not needed here now," he growled with a sneer. Ash caught the badge and put it in his pocket since he had won this badge with his own efforts, but still didn't move and got ready for the upcoming battle. Seeing that, Giovanni growled an order, "Do it and remember to not leave any evidence." "Yes, boss." Grunts and commanders shouted in unison and released their Pokémons to attack our heroes and the injured Mewtwo. But then a psychic force pressed down at them, crashing their head to the ground. Giovanni was no exception, and when they all moved their head with some difficulties to find the culprit, they saw Ash, Serena, and now fully visible shiny Mew glowing with violet energy and staring at them with sear anger. Upon seeing them like that, the grunts swallow hard while the commander's eyes widened, knowing the upcoming doom. But on the other hand, Giovanni's eyes were glued to the shiny Mew with an crazily obsessed look. He totally forgot his own situation, how he is still pressed down by the psychic power just now, and shouted, "Mew! Finally, I found you. Now you will be mine. Mine. Ha 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 ha." Giovanni's men looked at him as if he had gone crazy and was looking for death. The grunts subconsciously, with some efforts, little by little moved away from him. Giovanni, on the other hand, tried his hardest to get up, but the psychic force from Ash, Serena, and Mew was too much for him. And after trying for some time, he fully collapsed and got knocked out, while his men also couldn't handle the force and collapsed one after another. Ash then rushed to the injured Mewtwo and tried his hardest to heal him, and after some time the results started to show. One after another the injuries started to fill, and sometime later there wasn't even a scar left on his body. He got up, clenched his hands, still in shock on how a human could use healing powers. But soon his shock subsided and his thoughts drifted away from the present. He started to think on what to do now that he is free. Before, he wanted to get revenge on all the humanity, since he thought that all the humans are like Giovanni, cruel and selfish, and wanted to free all the Pokémons from their clutches. But no, Ash proved him wrong. He, unlike other, didn't ignore his plea. He helped him get his freedom. He protected him when he was down instead of trying to catch him like others. What surprised him more was that he healed him from his injuries without asking for anything in return. Then he remembered Ash's battle he had with Giovanni before Mewtwo's arrival. He was behind the wall and not in control, but he was still conscious. He could hear, see, and feel everything. He heard shouts of excitement from Ash's Pokémon. He saw how Ash's Pokémons enjoyed every moment of that battle. He felt Ash's bond with his Pokémons, especially with his progenitor Mew, and seeing them like that now, he was wishing to have it too. He also wanted to shout in excitement. He also wanted to enjoy his battles. He also wanted to have the same bond with someone like Ash has with his Pokémons. Ash, upon seeing Mewtwo's lost look, walked to him and offered him a hand and asked him to join his team. Mewtwo snapped out of his thinking and looked at Ash and saw a ghostly resemblance between Ash and the girl he was with in the cloning tank, his only close friend. Mewtwo then saw the extended hand and reached out to it and nodded in confirmation. Then Ash took out a Master Ball and holded it in front of Mewtwo. There were only 3 Pokémon on whom Ash had used the Master Ball, the ultimate powerhouses. One was his princess, other was his shiny Ho-Oh, and now the third one is on Mewtwo. Mewtwo for the first time smiled, then tapped on the Master Ball and got consumed on it with a glow. Then the Master Ball dinged in confirmation and vanished to Oak's lab. Ash, as not to let Mewtwo misunderstand, exchanged him with one of his other Pokemon and let it out to let him see what will happen to Giovanni and his grunts. Sometime later, after being called by Brock, Officer Jenny with some other officers soon arrived and rushed inside the gym. She, upon a thorough investigation and search of the gym and some insight from Mewtwo, found many hidden chambers, and inside those chambers she found documents proving Giovanni's leadership to the criminal organization Team Rocket, other than that of obvious grunts and commanders laying unconscious on the ground with R written on their clothes. Officer Jenny thanked our heroes, then arrested all of Rocket members while they were still unconscious and took them to the police station via many police vans and locked them all up. Then she awarded our heroes with Good Citizen Award and gave them the bounty that was on the Giovanni's head, which was around 2 million Pokédollars. They also got the smaller bounties of all the grunts and commanders who was arrested alongside Giovanni, which was around 500k. There were around 100 people, but they still couldn't compare to one Giovanni. Our heroes happily took the money and went to the nearby Pokemon Center to find a lodging. That's all for today. Now it's a question time. On which part in this series did Ash's twin shiny Eevees hatched? First 5 to answer this correctly will get shout out on my next video. But time to answer this question is limited to 2 days. If you enjoy this video, then please give a like and share it with your friends. Also subscribe this channel to get more amazing what ifs in the future. Alright then, see you guys on my next video. Goodbye, farewell and sayonara.